kind of angry for a
I
second.
know you were angry for a minute. Episode 136 of Cal Cagna Radio begins right now. Dude, you got a tall boy?
Yeah.
How many ounces is that?
64. No, I don't know. 22.
I saw a thing.
25 ounces.
Okay, I know you're not on Facebook right now, but I got added to, or got asked to, and I said yes, added to like Central Michigan alumni page on Facebook, and I stupidly hit yes. And now I say stupidly because there's some people who literally have nothing to do all day but just be on Facebook. And people just post like, what dorm did you live in? And then there's like 900 comments. But every time I log in,
you type, who cares? I'm 43. Who cares? Stupid.
Stop living in the past. Anyways, though, someone posted on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, who gives a crap? We're all adults now.
Right.
I'm like, can we just all agree none of those current college chicks would even get with us? Because we're old.
What dorm were you in? Which way did you walk to the sack?
Yeah, it's real. And dude, people get super fired up. Like,
fire up
wow.
chips.
Yeah, like
Fire
this is my opportunity to tell people
from?
what dorm I went to. Like
Why do you think people say that? Because people who go to Central Michigan have short fuses when it comes to tempers. That's on the college application. Number 1, did you pass high school? Yeah. Number 2, do you have a short fuse?
Yeah.
Fire up chips.
Yeah. And when people like talk about college, you instantly go back and want to tell everybody everything. Like seriously, there was one post yesterday and someone said, which movie instantly takes you back to your days at Central? And everyone was like answering it. And I'm like, dude, how do I get out of this thing? But that wasn't even why I brought it up.
There's only 2 ways to do it. You do
light my computer on fire.
Fire up chips.
So like there's 2 ways to do it. One is to burn your computer. The other one is to shave your head.
No. There's 2 ways to do it. To be a cynical idiot like I'm being, or to go all in. And I would go all in. And whenever somebody posts something like that, be the first to be like,
yeah,
oh, this movie or this movie, and just go all in.
But do it completely ridiculous. So when it's like, what movie takes you back to like your days at Central? I'm like, Frozen, even though like it came out 20 years after I was there.
Right. Frozen, because it reminds me of my RA. Do you remember that guy, Tony? And then just start this huge tangent. And then make the people who you notice that are on there all the time, that are literally living in the past, you make them seem like they're normal.
Yeah,
because
dude,
you go overboard.
There was one. Okay, so now mind you, I'm kind of
watching on YouTube. It looks like I'm picking my nose. I have an itch. I just keep itching it. Okay,
and if you're watching on YouTube, I can't see myself for some reason during this call. Like normally I'm up in the right-hand corner, but it's all Joe all the time. So either you can't see me at all and you can only hear me.
And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm not wearing pants, just for Justin Lamb. For his Twitter comment, he said we need to bring more funk from the junk.
No. Are you guys bringing the funk and talking about your junk or something?
Yeah. So as we go on, I'm occasionally going to stand up. Hey, and do like a hula hoop thing?
No, do Genie in a Bottle dance.
Yeah, the Genie in the Bottle dance. Smack it from side to side and then sit back down.
Okay, so anyways, so for somebody who makes fun of this Central Michigan thing, I do certainly know a lot about it because I've certainly paid attention. Honestly, every time I log on, it takes me to this page. Yesterday, someone was like, hey, does anyone remember John? He went by the name of Zeke. He was a teak in 1996. And someone was like, yeah, his name's John, whatever. I did a quick Google search. Here you go. Like, why are you asking on this page what happened to this dude?
Right. Like all day long, that guy, it popped into his head.
Yep.
All day long. He was like, you know what? I'm not going to look it up because I'm going to ask it later. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. He's like, there's no way. He's like, there's no way that Google knows where to find this guy.
It's like,
I bet you the Central Michigan Facebook page does.
Yeah, we all wondered whatever happened to Jocelyn Feinauer. Jocelyn Feinauer, after we graduated, dropped off the planet.
Yeah.
But guess what? Nobody did. Googled her.
Yeah, we found her.
You Google Jocelyn. She's some civil rights activist attorney on the west side of the state.
She's a big deal.
She's a big deal for like and I was gonna say
Don't quote it. I don't know what she is.
NAACP or something like that, or civil rights or something.
She's something to do. No, ACLU.
ACLU. She's a like the
Lawyer.
head person. Yeah.
She's something, all right.
Yeah. But everyone's like, man, I haven't seen her. She disappeared like a ghost. And it's like, boop, boop, beep, boop. No, actually not. She's married.
Hey.
I have all her wedding photos
Yeah.
here.
She looks like she had a great time at Barbados
great time.
on her honeymoon.
She still has the same haircut from 1994. But other than that, she's had a couple of kids. She looks
great.
Looks like she's doing good.
Yeah. It is funny that
CrossFits.
Some of the biggest obstacles to finding people on Facebook is just knowing how to spell their name. You know what I mean? It's not. I mean, not or on the internet.
Right.
It's not really that they're not out there. Everyone's out there, dude. With with a quick Google search, you can find just about anybody, so long as you know how to spell their name.
Right. The other thing is, it's always good to make fun of a lawyer on a small time podcast, because when those cease and desist letters hit, I
went on a date with her one time. Did you know that? Did you know that? I went on a date with her one time, like a legit date. Kissed her.
Oh,
I did, and I remember. Okay, so you want to know? This is terrible that I'm telling everybody this, but I was probably 17, and I was all like, "Hey."
You know, her husband's a listener, and he's like, "Before we got married, did you ever kiss anyone?" She's like, "No." And he's like, "You swear to me you never kissed anyone,
especially a washed-up radio host."
And she's like, "No, an aspiring radio host." And she's like, "No, absolutely not. It was not a part of my daily schedule. I didn't do it. I was studying to be a lawyer." And now it's like you're telling this, and he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, it gets even better though, because I was all like, "Can I kiss you?" Like I asked her because I was like trying to be a gentleman. Like 5 years later. Hey, 5 years later.
I almost choked on my Michelob.
5 years later, Jeff Weeks was like taking a sip of his beer. He's like, "Hey, remember when you asked Jocelyn Feinauer if you could kiss her?" I'm like, how'd you know that? He goes, "Everyone knows. She told everybody."
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's what I'm known for.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah. That's what I'm known for. I'm known for asking. Like, she not only did she
really?
Not, like,
that's what you're known for?
Yeah.
That is okay. I'll play along. That's what you're known for.
Anyways, okay, so this central thing, but someone posted on there. I don't know why this is still. I'm still trying to tell the story. It's not even worth telling.
No, it is worth telling. Keep going.
So I went out there today. Someone posted a newspaper ad from 1995 when I was at school, and it was like, "Look how cheap beer was." They were selling 40 ounces, 3 for $5.
Ooh.
12 pack of Natty Ice for $4, or a case, yes, I said 24 cans of Milwaukee's Best for $10.
Holy cow.
Now, even with inflation, there's a problem.
No, that's a twofold issue that I don't think you guys are factoring in. One, yes, it was 1990, whatever, 1995. The other issue, it's Mount Pleasant. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? So, like, I was just up in Mount Pleasant last weekend.
Has it changed much?
There's a lot more like restaurants and like places to eat, bars and whatnot. Yeah. But other than that, no. Oh no, Cecil. But I just think.
Oh, is that Zeus's dad? That's my favorite. There's one clip of that guy on Family Guy with the "oh no." He's like the local gay guy, and he gets a phone call about someone's dog dying, and he's like, "Oh no, Zeus! Oh no, their dog died, Cecil." Like he has all these names, like he knows the dog's names, and for some reason that's one of the funniest things. Oh no. Okay, go ahead.
Well, when you go up to Mount Pleasant, like a dirty 30 down here, a dirty 30 of PBR will run you $16 for 30 beers. And Up there, a Dirty 30 is like $11.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so like going back in time, it's kind of a twofold thing. You're like, wow, that was really cheap back then. But at the same time, it's also Mount Pleasant.
Well, exactly. And you're in a college town, which the whole goal is to move product. It's like shooting fish in a barrel to find someone who's going to buy your beer. So you want to get it.
It's funny that you should say shooting fish in a barrel, because right at the place where you're buying beer, you can also buy lures and bait in Mount Pleasant.
Crawlers.
Yeah, you could buy crawlers.
Are they from Walt's crawlers?
Walt's. They probably are Walt's crawlers.
I don't know who Walt is.
In the blue little plastic tin. No,
yeah.
It's not a tin. Little plastic thing.
Yeah, it's like the same one they put like potato salad in at your local Hollywood
sour
market.
Cream.
Yeah.
Like sour cream.
You know what I mean? If you're like, hey, can I get some of that ambrosia? Do you have any ambrosia? And they're like, sure, let me put it in this thing.
I'll take a half a pound of the Redskin potato salad, and my aunt, I feel embarrassed saying this, but I'll take a quarter pound of the ham salad. That pink
super
mush.
pink. Yeah.
Super pink mush.
Super pink. Yeah. Super pink. Just looks disgusting.
I'm honest, in my life,
please be honest. Once.
You know how like girls, it's mainly like the girl population of the world. If you say the word moist, they're like, oh, I can't stand that word.
Yeah.
For me, when I say the word pink, I feel weird.
Really?
I feel weird saying the word.
Because you think of the celebrity of the same name?
Yes. So come on and get the. I don't know what she's saying. Everybody.
He sings Ben West song, dude.
Sing us another song.
How much do you think Ben West made off that song?
Tons. He wrote a bunch of songs, man.
For her?
Like, I think she used 2, but one was a huge hit.
Yeah. Which one was it? Come on, let's sing it. Do you know which one it was?
I don't know what it was, no.
You gotta get up and try. You gotta get up and try. That's the only part I know.
Yeah, but he cranked out the jams for a good 5-10 years there.
Who, Ben West?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
no,
yeah,
I'm Pink. I go, he really cranked out the jams. You go, who? Ben West? We were only talking about Ben and Pink.
Hey, to be honest with you, it's not. Today, the sound is a little off. It's hard to hear you. Like, everything's not working right. I can't see myself, so I'm not sure if I look really cool or if I look completely like Quagmire.
Well, you do look Quagmire-ish, but
dude, listen, I
look great.
Listen, I lost 10 pounds. If you really want to know,
you turn your camera off?
I don't know what is going on, to be honest. I don't want to touch anything because if you can hear me and you can see me, but I am not in the corner. So I hate to go.
So you're obviously on the thing. So hopefully when it goes on, it's not just me the whole time. However, if it is, you still got to put that on YouTube.
For sure.
Just full 45 minutes of nothing but me. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. People will unsubscribe.
No, they won't. I just want something behind you on that TV where you're like, but on the TV, like something currently running, like that you won't turn off Real World, like that it's just on.
I do have a plug, though.
You have what?
Plug.
Who's
if people out there are looking for a new book to read or something like this, you got to get it's called the Compendium of Saga. And this is the cover of it.
Looks like
you got to read it. It's
only 700 pages, but it goes really fast.
You're right. It is 700 pages, but it's 54 comic books in one. This is the greatest story ever written. The guy who wrote Lost. Okay. The guy who wrote Lost wrote this comic Saga.
It's the guy that wrote the entire saga of Lost, or the guy who wrote the first half of Lost, which was the best part of Lost.
First half.
Because I swear, Lost. The guy who wrote it was like, this is going to be, I mean, if they pick this thing up, we'll just figure it out. No, and then they picked it up and he's like, oh, crap. I don't know where to go with it.
Funny you say that. I was listening to the podcast Fat Man on Batman, which is Kevin Smith and that Mark guy. And they were talking about that very thing. And they were actually talking about Lost. And Kevin Smith met, excuse me, I just burped. Kevin Smith like did like a tour on a set or something like this and met the writers from Lost. And it's on one of the episodes of Fat Man on Batman or Fat Man Beyond or something like that.
Right.
And basically what happened is he was talking to him and he goes, so, tell me, what is the smoke monster? Like this was like halfway through it. And he's like, give me something. Like, give me something I can walk away. I won't tell anybody, but let me know what it is. And they're like, dude, we make this up as we go.
Oh, so I am right.
Yeah. Kevin Smith said that like his world like shattered because he was like, are you kidding? Oh, I know exactly what it was. It was the episode where Kevin Smith just recently this
Lost weight.
No. In the comic world, there's like Stan Lee, who's like the top guy.
Yeah.
The like next guy down, because I've had a little Michelob Ultra, my brain isn't pulling up names. The next guy down, he just recently passed away. So Stan Lee died, and then this other like legend in comics died.
Yeah.
So Kevin Smith, after he died, posted this big like 2 hour.
Kevin Smith didn't die, but the guy died.
Didn't die.
Yeah.
The other guy did.
After Kevin Smith died, and people are like jumping off the bridge. Yeah, Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes.
That's what I said. No, that's not what I meant.
Okay.
So anyway, long story short, Kevin and this dude are having a conversation, and they get into that, and they were saying how when you write a comic book, you have the beginning and the end. Like you go to your editors and you say, this is where it's going to start. And 20 issues later, this is how it's going to end. And this is what's going to be in between. But then they start talking that's not how it is on TV shows. And then Kevin Smith was talking about how on Lost, it was that exact thing. He wanted some sort of nugget that he could go back to people and be like, I just talked to so-and-so. I just talked to...
Even though I said I wasn't going to tell anybody, here's what the smoke monster did.
I just talked to Vaughn about it and nothing. They just make it up as they go.
Yeah, I think that in the world of TV, like, it's so fickle and it's so quick to cancel the TV show. Like, I mean, we've had TV shows that we've watched, and I can't think of them off the top of my head, where we were, like, really into it, 3 episodes, and they were like, and they're canceled. And it's like, well, what about the rest of the season? They're like, well, we'll just scrap it.
For me, that was NBC, The Black Donnellys. Have you ever seen The Black Donnellys?
No, what is it, Irish show, something about?
Yeah, you can watch season 1. Well, you could. I don't know if you still can. On Netflix, they have season 1. Freaking fantastic. And it got canceled.
It's just gone.
Amazing. It was my favorite show at that time. It was fantastic.
I'll check it out. So you think it's on Netflix?
It has been on Netflix for a really long time. I also thought of something the other day with our podcast.
What? Is it that we need to go global?
I was thinking about that, but I was also thinking of a drinking game that when you or I say the word like, you drink.
Goodness. Oh, people be drunk after the first 15 minutes. We're like a high school bunch of girls.
Yeah, we are. We're like
like
Valley girls. I just said it again. I was listening to one of our last shows. I couldn't, like, I almost wanted to turn it off.
Right.
We say like so much that I was like, oh, there I go. I'm driving.
There I go again.
Girls, but it's in bed. And so I was saying to myself, I gotta stop saying like. In 30 seconds, I said it 4 times.
It's
you
like
were the
you
same
wanna,
way.
I just did it.
I know.
Did it.
It's very
you
hard.
You want to punch yourself in the face after hearing it.
Yeah. My wife says it a lot. My wife says the word like a ton. And I want to there we go. I want to tell.
It's going to ruin everybody's time, though, if we keep saying, here we go.
I want to tell her, stop saying it. And then I listen to the show, and I'm like, I think I say it 10 times more than her.
You just said it.
I know. I did.
All right. So today I want to ask you a question.
Said that, and then just listen without hearing the word like.
2 things. Have you seen the new Will Ferrell movie on Netflix? The one about Eurovision?
I couldn't.
What? Did you listen? Did you watch any of it?
Got 15 minutes into it, and I couldn't stand it.
Really? Why?
it just didn't hold my attention. I
I've
just thought
watched it 3 times. That's how much
Really?
I liked it. And I laughed and I legit cried at the end. Cried. Full like
Grant's
Like,
like, get it together.
well, Grant wouldn't sit and watch it with me. You kidding me? He was the same as you. He's like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I couldn't.
My children do not appreciate Will Ferrell at all.
A lot of people do. I think our generation is the last that kind of liked him, and people.
Well, and kind of lets him get away with anything, right? Like even bad movies. I feel like, you know who my kids do like is Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
They like him.
kids
Like, we watched Grown Ups the other day. My son was like, Grant was like, yeah, this is pretty good. And I'm thinking,
Same with us.
yeah, I'm like, dude,
I can't wait for like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison to come back on like on Netflix.
like I was totally like thinking like that we should watch Billy Madison sometime.
I know. I was going to play for them Wedding Singer.
Oh, that's a good one too.
We watched Big Daddy. We watched what one did you just say? Ups. We watched Grown Ups, Big Daddy, another one of his. I can't remember it, but I want to watch Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison with him.
Wendy and I tried to watch that.
Uncut Gems. No, I'm just joking.
We tried to watch that the other night. Have you watched any of that?
Yeah, I did. I started watching it and I really
we watched
liked
like 15 minutes
it,
and we
but
were
not
like,
with my
dude.
kids.
Yeah, well, of course not. But we watched like 15 minutes and we were like, what is this movie?
Yeah.
It felt as if, not like, it felt as if they had like a black cloud over the whole screen. Like the whole time you're watching it, turn on the lights, bro. That's what you wanted to say to them. Turn on the lights.
I didn't feel that way. Maybe my TV is just better than yours.
Anyways, today I asked the question on Twitter because I was really, really confused. I want to know when I say she came down to say keep it down, didn't she?
Why, did you see me look up?
Yep.
Oh, she didn't. I heard her. We have like an alarm system in the house. So when you walk in, it goes like, as soon as the door opens, it goes beep, 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 back door or whatever.
Yeah.
Walk in. So I just heard the beep and I saw a shadow. So I looked over.
Because, yeah, just so you know, before we got on tonight, Joe's wife was like, can you keep it down? Because sometimes you're too loud when you do the podcast. And Wendy, same thing. She was like, what are you going to go do? Oh, when are you going to be done? Because we got to have dinner. And I was like, okay. Like, we have to dinner every night. Like, just deal with it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that late. Like, just to be clear, everybody, what time is it?
We have
it
12 listeners that want this every week. We can't let them down. We can't let them down.
Wendy, just so everyone knows, did ask the question, at what point do you pull the plug? At what point you just say, hey, there's no one listening anymore?
You don't. Because here's the thing. I'm listening.
Thank you.
And you're listening.
Yes.
And so when we put this out, this right here, this is what our podcast is. This is what people tell us it is. Our podcast is me and you having a conversation, and other people just happen to be listening.
Just laying there on the bed listening.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, sitting next to us at the bar.
Yeah.
We're the ones talking.
Eavesdropping.
So, at that point, you can never pull the plug.
No, you can't. It's got to go forever, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, if we weren't recording it, me and you would still be doing this.
That's true.
We would still be chit-chatting with each other, meeting up. You know, I mean, you don't invite me over for all Grant's parents' friends.
No, I was just going to tell you.
Parties,
it's funny because today you said out loud, am I coming over? Or are we doing it over Skype? Now, you think Molly is a little bit weary of the fact that you go into the public and deal with them over at Costco? Wendy ain't letting you in this house for a long time. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, really?
COVID is real, and it ain't coming in my house.
Oh, okay.
So just so you know, it may be well.
I can respect that, but I was like, hey, am I coming over to your house? Are we doing
it
this
was all
Skype?
text. For the record, we were texting this.
And you were like, well, but we won't get the video end.
No, that I still stand by. Because, again, for everybody listening out, Joe is so much more technically savvy than I am. Like, I couldn't even figure out how to do this part. And as you can see right now, I have no video up there, so I don't even know how to do this. But I feel like if we are in person, how are we going to do a video that people can watch?
Easy. Because I will come to your house. We will have the energy that is created when me and you are in the same room.
Steam.
We both have our computers sitting 2 feet apart from each other, but we still Skype call. My camera is still on me. Your camera is
Oh.
still on you. It ends up looking like a Howard Stern set. You know what I mean? Like where he has a camera on him, but we're in
Oh.
the same room. That's all.
Okay, now I officially have respect for you.
Thank
That's what
you.
it took.
It took this long.
Okay.
43 years.
So
for
today,
this.
I put on Twitter, and I'm not trying to be like that guy. Like, what is the deal with that? I put that I almost this morning put cream cheese on toast, and because I didn't have any bagels, and to me that seemed so insane.
Yeah, no, that's not.
And
I know a lot of
everybody,
people that put cream cheese and a little cinnamon and sugar on toast.
that's so funny that you say that because so many people wrote back in there. I was like, said something about I was gonna put cream cheese on my toast because I'm out of bagels.
Nuts. On my nuts.
Yeah. Is that weird? And
Is
then
it weird?
I squeezed it really hard and then took a super close picture so that Twitter's algorithm wouldn't know what it was. Because let's face it, Twitter's not actually looking at all the pictures. They can only they can detect a genitalia from far away, but they can't tell. If I squeeze it super tight and it's super red, awfully red,
or
very vascular,
or bat wing it.
Yeah, very vascular and covered with whipped cream. I mean, cream cheese. So I said, I almost
says to the guy, I says, rectum,
Mabel.
damn near killed him.
Yeah. But I said that I was thinking about putting it on toast, but then I decided not to. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, you should put it on oh, yeah, don't you know? You should put it on there with some cream cheese and some cinnamon and sugar. And everyone was like, you're idiot. Everybody does that. I'm like,
yeah,
is that a thing?
Yeah, not everyone can afford bagels. So the next best thing is toast. Like everyone has a loaf of bread in their kitchen, but it takes like a special trip to the grocery store to get bagels.
Or if you go to the bagel store, so I went a couple weeks ago and stopped and got them for everybody. Those bitches were hard as a brick bat by like an hour after I got them.
Yeah.
No joke.
This is the other thing that drives me nuts. Whether it's bagels or donuts, you like wake up early morning. You're like, I'm going to go get bagels or donuts for my family. And I'm going to be the hero. And you go and get them. Let's just say donuts. You bring them back. Nobody wants to eat them.
Nope.
Like everyone's like, oh, you're like, hey, I got donuts. And you're expecting to see their faces light up.
You hear the pitter patter of footsteps. And you're like,
oh, I'm exactly.
Hey, there's some fresh donuts in there. I got up this morning, went to go get donuts if anybody wants donuts.
And this is the response you get.
And you wait.
Okay. And then you're like,
I might have one later.
Yeah, and then you walk into the kitchen and you see that like of the dozen, there's 10 because you ate 2 already. You ate 1 on the way home, and then you ate 1 thinking that if I eat this 1 in front of everybody, it'll get the ball rolling. Yeah. But it doesn't. No. Then the donuts sit there, and then it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You check it again, and there's 9.
You're like, I might as well cut 1 in half because I want 1 more half. Right. Break it in half, eat
and
it.
It's the same thing with bagels. You go to Panera and you get that like cinnamon crunch bagel,
dude,
and you get the like bucket.
And they're like, how many do you want? And you're like, give me a full dozen. I'm gonna be a real hero.
Give me a bucket. And so you bring the bucket home. It comes with 2 tubs of cream cheese,
2 schmears.
You always get the plain, and then you get another one.
Garden veggie. Veggie. Because people love it. They love it.
Yeah, because
they love it.
The plain fits with everything that's sweet, and then the veggie fits with everything that's savory. So if you get sage bagel or you get the Asiago, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. If people are watching this YouTube video today, me and Cal are itching and going in our noses like we just did a weekend of coke. We just did.
I'm turning on my camera for a second.
Yeah, my nose is itching. Yours is itching. We just keep itching it as though like we just did like a couple ounces of blow,
like a social skinny. All right, so you get all the bagels, and then you walk in the door, and, like you said,
and then nobody cares. Nobody cares. And you're just like, are you kidding? And then like you wake up so you go to bed brokenhearted. Mm-hmm. You wake up Sunday and there's still bagels.
They're harder than a rock.
Harder than a rock. Your daughters are putting them in the microwave. Like when you're microwaving a bagel or a donut,
Yeah.
That's some end of the world bull crap there.
Yeah, the other day I got bagels. I was so proud of myself, and I got the everything bagel. Like that was for me because I like everything, you know. And I ate it, and I was really
No,
proud. And I was,
just can't decide on anything.
so I
Like,
said,
don't try and sell us
Yeah.
magic beans.
bill of goods.
It's just because you cannot make a decision.
I'll take everything. Just give me
Just
the
take
everything.
You have something that just has everything that's in those baskets.
Yeah. So I come home and same thing. Like I had gone to work for the day and I got some bagels for some people from work, and then I got like another dozen for us. And I brought them in. I was like, "Hey, stopped and got bagels." And Wendy was like, "Oh, cool. Like, you want me to make you one?" She's like, "No, I'm fine. I might have one later." And I was like, "Okay."
But I got bagels.
And then
You're
so then
supposed to
Grant
be
gets up
excited
and he
as
makes
I am.
himself a bowl of cereals.
Oh,
And I'm like,
that's the worst.
I go, "Grant, there's fresh bagels." He goes, "I don't feel like a bagel right now. I'll have one later."
Too many carbs. You just ate Cookie Crisp cereal with chocolate milk. You just put damn near 75 carbs, a
Yeah.
spoonful
Yep.
in your body,
And you're going to say that bagels are bad for you.
right? Because your coach said you can't have a bagel. Because when you went to Jim Harbaugh's football camp,
Yeah.
he told you that drinking milk was for sissies or something. Remember when he said that?
No.
Remember that? Oh,
He said,
yeah.
Jim Harbaugh said that?
Jim Harbaugh said that like eating or drinking milk or like eating eggs was for sissies because like chickens or cows were like pacifist animals.
What?
Yeah. Google it after the show.
Yeah, no, I will.
This was like,
You're telling me the man that took off his shirt and played like Air Force football with a bunch of 12-year-olds?
hey, and slept in a treehouse outside a kid's window for a 2-star kicker? For a kicker that may have had his scholarship taken away?
Yeah, I don't even think he has a scholarship anymore, that kid.
Oh.
Isn't it Nordine or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Quentin
Nordine.
Nordine. Yeah, like he missed enough kicks that they were like benched him for a while. But yeah, I remember when he was recruiting people. Obviously, the dog's trying to get you.
Yeah,
When
people are watching on YouTube, like my dog is like going nuts down to my.
you're like, "I'm fighting the imaginary boogeyman in my basement."
So go on, Quinn Nardine.
Quinn Nordine. Yeah, if you know anything about college recruiting, remember
And I do.
I do, because I was recruited highly. I would have went pro if my high school coach didn't hate me.
Right.
That always that guy. I
Yeah.
probably would have been pro. We would have been a better team. But yeah, Jim Harbaugh would have all these crazy things to get these kids. And like you said, one of them he slept in a treehouse. I remember that. The
Yep.
other one he slept in the bunk bed in the kid's room. Like spent the night at the kid's house.
I don't know about that. Really?
I've never heard the treehouse story. It's hilarious. But I know for a fact that he slept in bunk beds at someone's house.
I've never heard the bunk beds. I've heard the treehouse. Like
Hey,
Quinn
Realize
Nardine.
how
he
ridiculous
slept-
both of these.
Yes, he slept in the treehouse to get him to come. Then the kid comes and his foot is like a water balloon and he can't kick a football for nothing. And I think he was just beat out this last season by like a freshman kicker or something like that because he can't hit a field goal to save his life.
Okay, so here's the thing: the eccentric Jim Harbaugh climbed a tree in an effort to recruit top cornerback talent. So he was going after. So he was going after
Climbed a tree. That's what it's
David
taken
Long,
nowadays.
whoever that is.
That's
Okay,
what it's
let me
taken
look.
nowadays. Is
Yeah,
to climb a tree. That just
Dude.
seems like something that the parents are just messing with him. How can I get your kid to come here over Ohio State? Hey, if you climb that tree, we'll think about it. Okay. Hey, my dog just pooped in the yard. If you go smell it, I'll maybe my kid will go. He just have Jim Harbaugh just doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, we were both right. Jim Harbaugh will be at Quinn is the kid's name. Quinn Nordine's house at 12:01 a.m. This is from a few years ago, 2016. he will spend the night, and he spent the night in bunk beds at the kid's house. Under the exact rules, he's going to be at the house at 12:01. That's when it's legal for him to be at my house. He said we could watch movies, see how well we gel, and then he would sleep over after that.
For a kicker.
Kicker.
You're going to risk prison for a kicker.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And here's the thing. I can't imagine being the parent. Like, let's say Grant was that good that Jim Harbaugh was recruiting him. And they were like, hey, could we set up a dinner for like us to come over and talk about Grant's future at the University of Michigan? I'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
We'll get pizza or something.
Yeah.
But if they were like, hey, can I come over at 12:01? We could watch movies with Grant and then I'll stay the night. I'd be like, no.
I'd be like, How about I call the police right now, you sick pervert? You get a good look at it? You like what you see?
Why would anybody want that?
Nobody would. That's bizarre to me. And if I was that kid, like, I'm thinking about between Ohio State and Michigan, maybe going down playing in Florida, Alabama.
Yeah.
And all these coaches are doing stuff. Well, what did Alabama do? Well, they got like the best facilities in the nation. What did Michigan do? Harbaugh wants to sleep in my bedroom with me. Nah, you know what? I'll pass. I'm going to Alabama. Well, Michigan's just right down the highway.
Hard pass.
I'm going to Alabama. What's the furthest place that offered me a scholarship from Ann Arbor? I'm going there.
Yeah,
people, this is all a joke. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh, I know you're an avid listener.
What if he was?
We're not saying you're a pedophile. You're not. You're not.
Not at all.
There's never been anything that's come out. It's just it's goofy. It's weird. Yeah.
You're protecting yourself.
I'm sure you're a great guy.
I'm sure he's great.
I loved him when he played for the Bears, boy.
Did you?
Yeah. I loved when Harbaugh was the quarterback for the Bears.
Yeah, Harbaugh's a little different of a guy, but that's how he's a winner. I mean, that's the thing. Depending on who. It
wasn't different back then. He played the game, not the game on the field. He played the game off the field where you seem like you got it together. And now that he's the head of the program, he doesn't have to keep it all together.
Absolutely, for sure.
He is.
But
insane.
I think the advent of social media, though, and the fact that like they've got cameras all over these guys all the time, just tells you that like a lot of our favorite celebrities, like especially when we were younger, probably weren't good people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just because, or even normal for that matter.
I would say normal. I wouldn't go so far as to say they weren't good people.
Right.
They just weren't normal.
You're like, don't you dare talk about Gibby like that. I'm like, I don't.
He would not be one that I would put in that, Cheddar. I've never heard a nice story about him.
I know.
I wish Kirk Gibson would call me and be like, hey, let's go to Panera. Because I want to like your hometown sports teams, you want to rally like Steve Yzerman.
Yeah.
The Red Wings can do no wrong right now because Yzerman is running it. If Yzerman thinks something is the way it should be, I fully support him. But Kirk Gibson, I don't have one good story about that. I don't know anyone who's met him that has a good story. I've never heard a good story, like on the radio or anything, about Kirk Gibson. Like he's just a surly, grumpy old man.
Right. That's it.
So
like
I would love for him to text me in the next half hour. And
here's the deal.
An avid listener.
Even though this isn't live, if I get a text from Kirk Gibson in the next half hour, then I will know that he's a good person.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
I'll go to lunch with him and I'll judge for myself. But
I will let him pay.
Yeah. But until then, every story I've heard about Kirk Gibson is he's just like not a fun dude.
Yeah, no, I feel like a lot of those guys, like I said, they just grew up in a time, and I don't mean grew up, came up in a time where they could get away with being a-holes.
Yeah.
And, every once in a while you'll hear like sports talk radio will do those things where it's like, oh, you brush with celebrity. And it's like, oh, I met so-and-so at a golf outing, or I met so-and-so.
And he threw baloney at my bare butt.
I thought it was inappropriate that I had to pull down my pants and Justin Verlander threw baloney at my bare butt.
Sparky Anderson just hucked walnuts at my nipples.
And he didn't know that I was allergic to walnuts. Adding insult to injury. He did not know. He did not know that was allergic. Hey, do you have to wear a mask for work?
Yes.
Because I put
At
on a
certain times. At certain times.
I put on a mask today to go to work for a few minutes. Dude, my breath was so bad that I was like, this is how other people deal with me. Like, they smell this breath. Like, it seriously smelled like I just ate a turd.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because yesterday at work, I had to deal with a customer.
Yeah.
It was early in the morning, and I had this interaction with them. And if you judge a book by its cover, you're like, wow, this person seems to have it going on.
Yep.
And then they talked, and I was like their breath is so bad. I was like, in the middle of the night, did you sleep with your mouth open?
Yeah.
Some wild animal came in and just took a dump in your mouth.
In your stomach. And then you ingested it. And then you forgot to eat or drink anything. And now it lives there.
Yeah. And no Retsin. You didn't take any Retsin. And every time they opened their mouth, I wanted to
It's
puke.
just a man or a woman?
A woman.
Because every once in a while, you'll run into somebody who, like you said, top to bottom has it all together. Like the look, the style, the beauty.
That's who I'm speaking of.
Then the breath. And you're like, oh. I think a lot of people just don't eat breakfast or don't eat food. And I think it sort of just sits in their stomach or something.
Yeah.
Because, like, every once in a while, so Wendy will sometimes say, you smell like an elementary school teacher. If I've had coffee, but I don't eat. Like, sometimes I'll have coffee, and then she'll be like,
I get that.
yeah, so she's like, you have coffee breath. And she's like, and not in a good way.
I understand that breath. I don't get it. Because I always have the greatest oral hygiene.
I just want you to know that I understand and I sympathize with you. And I'm here with you, but I can't say I really know what that's like.
Right.
But yeah, so yesterday I put on a mask for work, and dude, I was like, oh. And so I took off the mask and smelled the mask, thinking like, oh, well, maybe my mask is tainted. Nay, it was not the mask that was tainted. It was my breath.
Oh.
Like at that point, like I was like, I smelled it, and I was like, oh no, it's me.
Oh, so what'd you do?
I just
You're
went
like
in the,
Toothy fruit. So
I had 3-stripe gum or whatever. What do we call it? What was it?
Yeah. Fruit
Tiger
stripe.
Fruit stripe.
Fruit stripe.
No,
Yeah.
I ended up going out and I went to a gas station and I got some like Altoids or whatever, and then I ate those and that was better. But what I realized when I was what?
Just a whole tin.
Yeah, well, like that's how much you're supposed to eat, right?
It's a
if you got-
serving.
if
A tin is a serving, right? Am I wrong? Right?
what? It's one serving. You know what I realized though? Why don't they sell Banaka anymore?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nothing.
Good question.
Okay, so no Banaka talk.
No. Here's something. When I was in junior high, my friend Tarek,
Tarek, what's Tarek's last name?
Ananadon.
Yeah.
So Tarek,
That kid grew a beard at like 13.
yeah. So he had brought Banaka to middle school.
Yeah.
So he'd spray it, and it was kind of the cool thing in like 1990 to spray Banaka. And this kid was like, "Hey, can I have a spray?" And Tarek goes, "Yeah, sure. Open your mouth." And so he lifted the thing to the kid's mouth, and at the last second, changed the trajectory just slightly, sprayed it right in the kid's eye.
Oh no.
The kid goes, "Ah!" And then he goes, "My eye feels like ice." It's just he froze the kid's
You
eye.
realize if this happened today, he would be sued.
Yeah, he would be.
He would literally be expelled from school.
Oh, yeah.
He'd
Yeah.
have to go to sensitivity training, and he would be sued and be sent to another
Kid just
school.
Goes, my eyes. Ah! My eye feels like ice.
Yeah, my kids the other day, we tried to watch Dumb and Dumber,
Okay.
and in that, you remember that was like his bit. Like he would spray the Banaka, and it would spray
Right.
the wrong way.
Yeah.
But like Morgan was like, "What does he keep spraying?" And I was like, "Oh, it was like a air freshener, like mouth freshener."
Like breath spray.
Yeah, and she was like, "How many sprays would you get in the thing?" I'm like, "I don't know, 30." Like I don't remember, but I'm like, it never really
Like,
took
that's not-
off.
a question that should be asked.
Yeah, it never really took off like they wanted it to. What is the
No.
dog getting you?
Oh yeah, he's all fired up to play.
Okay.
No, but Banaka, the like commercials for it were like, but yeah, it was really big for a long time. I remember, you know what killed it? The breath strips.
Oh, the Listerine
The
breath strips.
Listerine breath strips. It went from Banaka
Those
to
are
the
so
breath
gross.
strips.
Those are so gross.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
put that film that like
Yeah.
supposedly quote unquote disappeared in your tongue.
Yeah.
But for a good minutes, you're sucking on that thing like a communion wafer, trying to get that thing to dissolve. Yeah.
You're like, I think this is pure gelatin. I think it's
You're like, I think this is made of horse hooves. This is made of
this
horse
is cloven hooves. This is cloven hooves. Yeah, it's like stuck to the roof of your mouth. I just remember always being like, there was that mild moment where you'd have like a slight panic attack, and you're like, this is my new normal. I'm gonna have this on my tongue forever.
This is not dissipating. It's just going to encapsulate my tongue.
Forever.
Forever.
Let the unions out! That's going to do it for episode 146 of Cal Cagno Radio. How about 136 of Cal Cagno Radio? We'll go with one of the two. We want to thank you guys for listening. A lot of stuff Joe's been posting on Instagram. Where can they follow you?
On Instagram at Jerk Yorkie, JERKYORKIE. I also do Average Jerk Barbecue, Average Jerk BBQ on there. That my Jerk Yorkie is kind of my personal stuff, and then my other is kind of me. Yeah, me
like
cooking.
Poems, soliloquies.
Yeah, posts
Haiku.
like that. So.
Yeah, no, I noticed you posted the other day like a whole bunch of stuff about the smoker. That's why I realized that people should be. Yeah.
Yep, I was up north, so I had that thing just rolling smoke, and
that was something along the lines of like squeeze on. Yeah, look, it's rolling smoke. Like you said it, I was like, wow, that's really like a culinary term.
Right.
You did a culinary term, and I was proud of you. Remember to follow along with the show at Cal Cagno Radio on Twitter, on Facebook at Cal Cagno Radio, and at calcagnoradio.com. If you want to email us, you can always do that. We will write back, and that's calcagnoradio@gmail.com. Have a great day, everybody. We love you. Bye.
See you.